Hi guys, it's Gabby. This is gonna be my third book review about the book Lord of the Flies. I forgot to bring it home, but I did write down my pointers on about the book. This is gonna be my third vlog. I don't know how I keep showing up in the same dress, but this time my window's open, so that's something different. And this is a new angle of my room. So I would like to first start off with my inner ramblings about this book, because while I did feel it was a bit boring, like in my other two videos, there are some stuff that I want to dive deep into, because my first two videos have already covered about just like the basic plot and everything. I would like to dive into the more what you would call niche aspects of the book. Now, I would like to start, hold on, let me read my notes first. I like to start about how this thing called mob mentality. I forgot what it's called exactly. My notes say mob mentality, but it's like the boys, because they're in the boys on the island, because they're influenced to act like barbaric, they all become barbaric. And what I mean by this is that realistically, if you isolate one of these boys, they would not start going barbaric reenacting killing the same pig again. They would never do that. But however, since this is in a group setting, the boys' mindsets are basically that, oh, they're doing it too, so it's okay for me to do it too, because they're also doing it and they're in a group, so their consensus must be correct. So I like this book, and I like how it displays how fast people go into this said mob mentality. Like, they don't even need sufficient proof, especially with the beast. Like, be honest, I was reading that book and I did not see like an actual real sighting of the beast besides that parachute that got disproven later. Now, why I find this mob mentality very interesting to me is I like how the writer uh writes the effects of the mob mentality on the people in the book. Like Simon, rip Simon, a moment of silence for Simon, our true king. So I would like to say that even Simon, he finally realized that the beast was not actually a beast, it was a parachute, and there was a dead guy attached. So he ran downstairs trying to tell the group, guys, there's no beast. There is no beast. It's only us. There's no beast. However, because the people in the mob, like the other boys, they're all too focused on being barbaric and just going proving to each other that they can be the most of this savagery and stuff. They kind of mistook Simon for the beast and they stab him to death. They surround poor Simon and stab him to death. Now, you tell me, would one single individual go up to Simon in that moment and stab him to death, even in these circumstances? No, they would most likely not. They were actually, all the boys in that group were actually more influenced to go and beat Simon to death because of this whole mob mentality. Because they see one person wanting to do it, yeah, that's the rare individual, and then suddenly everybody joins in, killing poor Simon. I like how this book really shows the dangers of this mob mentality. And it really also shows how even though these little kids, they're still little, they can fall easily victim to this very harsh and very damaging mentality, which is this mob mentality. And since there is no adult in this situation, or no person that's actually reliable or taking in charge properly, it's that's how it went downhill so fast for the poor little boys. And my last point from my notes is that how I like how I don't like the trope that childhood innocence is a thing, because I believe children can commit crimes too and deserve equal punishment. And I like how the book displayed that, actually, because not only are the boys actually becoming evil, murdering poor Simon, reenacting the killing of a pig again that already died because of them, it also shows that even though the boys, they try their best to build a civilization, build some sort of social order, it still somehow falls. And I feel at the end of the day, it shows that civilization is only a mask for their primal instincts, which is murder and savagery. And even though they like try their best, like especially in the beginning of the book when they tried their hardest to like stay civilized and build like an order for themselves, it doesn't erase the fact that they've always had like their primal instinct to go murder and be crazy within. And this is more accentuated by their mob mentality, which I really like in this book, and I feel like it's kind of underappreciated. Thank you. See you guys in my next vlog. Hopefully I'm not wearing the same dress anymore or I'm in the same room. But thank you for watching this.